Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. So today we are doing another theory video. Yes, this is a new environment, and yes, I don't have my hat, so technically I'm naked. But ignore that for now. So today we are doing another Ninjago video. Really, man, I think you have an obsession. Relax, it's one of the best shows ever made. So as you know, season 13 just wrapped up, and I thought I might as well say a few final things about it before I move on to other topics. So yeah, might as well just speak. So I have a few theories and predictions as to what could be in store for 2021. As you know, season 13 is the last piece of Ninjago media we are gonna get for the rest of 2020. This is the last piece of Ninjago we'll get for the rest of the year. So Ninjago will not make a comeback until next year, 2021. So I thought I might as well just say what I think will happen next year before it actually comes out. So let me start with the theories, then I'll move on to the predictions. So what are my Ninjago theories I've been having at the back of my mind recently? For one, my first theory was, who rules Ninjago? I guess that's more of a question than it is a theory, but it has been something on my mind. Who rules Ninjago anyways? Because in season 8 we find out that Ninjago is indeed an empire. Before, we didn't know what Ninjago was. We all thought it was like some sort of republic, you know, a state run by the people. But once season 8 was released to the public, it was kind of announced that the city of Ninjago, at least the country of Ninjago, is indeed an empire. So we have a royal family and such. So we have Harumi and her parents. And as we find out in season 8, Harumi had killed her parents, and she did not want to be the Empress of Ninjago. She instead resurrected Gamadon to become Emperor. However, problem is, Gamadon is a criminal, so he's being chased by, you know, the Empire right now. He's being chased by the police right now. He's a criminal at large. And as we find out in season 9, Harumi is also died in season 9. So if Harumi died in season 9 and her parents died, it kind of begs the question, who rules Ninjago? I guess if we're gonna go through the rules of olden days, the next ruler of Ninjago would be the commander of armies, or it would be the royal advisor. It would have to be one of those two people. We haven't met them in the Ninjago universe, but seeing as the royal family is dead, it would make sense that either the general of armies or the royal advisor would rule Ninjago. But it's an interesting question, one that very few fans have drawn upon. I mean, we all like talk about the inconsistencies of problems in between seasons, but I don't think anyone has ever really talked about like who rules Ninjago now that we know it's officially an empire. It's so weird. Another theory I had was, you know, like what are they gonna do with the villains like Pythor, Klaus, and such? And that kind of leads me into my prediction. So what do I think of what Ninjago is gonna do in 2021? Well, in 2021, for those who don't know, Ninjago will be entering its 10th anniversary. So by doing that, they'll obviously want to plan a big event or something. So I can bet what they're gonna do for 2021 will be they're gonna do their 10th anniversary event, and then they're gonna do season 14. So what I feel what they're gonna do in 2021 is, for the 10th anniversary event, I think they're gonna bring back the old villains and kind of wrap up all the inconsistencies that have been in Ninjago pre-season 11. I think with the 10th anniversary event, they'll wrap up all the inconsistencies, and then starting from season 14, we kind of like start off on a clean slate and move forward. So I think for the 10th anniversary event, we'll get villains like Klaus, Pythor, Garbadon, all those guys come back, and then they get some sort of closure, and they will get some sort of closure. You saw all those villains who were there before, we'll be through them. We get a 10th anniversary celebration, and then we move on into season 14. Now, what's gonna happen in season 14? Nothing has been officiated yet, so anything I say here is a theory. Don't consider it canon or a rumor. It's just a theory. But my predictions for season 14 might be: who will be the focus ninja? I believe it'll be Nia. She hasn't really had like a major season after her. Like, most people like to say that season 5 was her season, but her face wasn't on the box. So I believe that she would be the official focus ninja for Ninjago season 14. What will the story be about? I don't know what it will be about. If anything, I think she will also learn to do burst spinjitzu in season 14. But as to like the major things that go on in there, I don't know. But I do think that I may have an idea of who the villain is. And that will be Acronix and Crux, the Time Twins, who are the main villains in season 7. Why is this, you ask? Okay, thank you, because this kind of takes me into theory number 2. So for all of you who remember what happened in Ninjago season 7 finale, we find out that Wu and the Time Twins got trapped in the Iron Doom, which is a time machine, And the Time Twins had set the time machine to go 40 years in the future, where they could take over Ninjago without the presence of the ninja. And Wu was trapped on the Iron Dome with them. So, what I think would happen is in season. So, as we know, at the end of season 7, Wu pulled the reversal. Because, as we know, the Iron Dome is a time machine which is run by four time blades, and these time blades help the time twins time travel. So we have the blue blade, which is a slow one, the red one, which is the pause one, the yellow one, which is the reversal blade, and the green one, which is the forward one. So as we found out at the end of season 7, Wu pulled the reversal blade out of the Iron Dome before it made a full time travel jump, which is how he was able to end up in the future. So first, I would like to debunk something. I would like to debunk, be it a theory that fans had or something official that the creator said, but they said that Wu went back in time and changed some events in the timeline, which is why the ninja have different designs in season 8 as compared to their season 7 designs. It is why the ninja don't look the same as they do in season 8, because apparently Wu made some changes to the timeline that changed the outcome of how the ninja look. I do not fully agree with that. That's not a satisfying answer. I'm not with it 100%, so I kind of debunk that rule. Maybe it's official, maybe it's not, but I kind of debunk it. What I say happened is that there's no possible way that Wu time traveled into the far past that he changes the outcome of the ninja's destinies. I don't believe that. There's probably a better explanation out there, but if you want me to come up with it, I don't have it, but I do not think it's plausible that Wu went back in time. Here's what I think happened instead. So as we found out at the end of season 7, what's this? At the end of season 7, Nia used the reversal blade on Wu to prevent him from aging and instead make him age backwards. The problem is she used too much power and made Wu age all the way back to when he was a baby. However, that process did not occur in 1 minute. It occurred over time. So what happened is when Nia was making Wu young again, they went back into the Iron Dome, they fought Occurrence and Crux, and then Wu threw Kai and Nia out of the time zone back into the present day. Because remember, the ninja went 40 years into the past, then they came back to the present. So on their way back to the present, no, they were going to go 40 years in the future after the present. So they came back to the present. Wu left Kai and Nia in the present, and he continued fighting Occurrence and Crux. Occurrence and Crux planned to go 40 years in the future. However, Wu pulled the reversal blade out of the Iron Dome, and when he did that, the time machine kind of faltered in the timeline a bit. So my guess is Wu jumped out of the Iron Dome before it went into the future fully. That's why he only ended up in Ninjago 1 year after season 7. And because of the reversal blade was still having its effects on him, he became a baby. So he became a baby, and he ended up in Ninjago a year later. Mostly because the Iron Dome was on its way to the future. So that's why he popped up a year later. So you're probably wondering, what about Occurrence and Crux? My belief is that they were still in the Iron Dome. They never jumped out like Wu did. And because they didn't have the reversal blade anymore, there's no way they went 40 years into the future. My guess is they went probably a couple of years in the future after Wu jumped out. So Wu jumps out 1 year after season 7. My guess is the Time Twins jumped out probably a year or two after season 8, 9, 10, around there. And that's why I believe they might be the main villains of season 14. As we know, the Skull Sorcerer sold all his Venge Stone to a buyer, and this buyer needed a lot of Venge Stone, so that the King of Shintaro, aka the Skull Sorcerer, could make Shintaro better. So you're probably wondering, why does someone need all this Venge Stone? My belief is Occurrence and Crux need the Venge Stone to spread out all over Ninjago to make sure elemental masters lose their powers. Because if you remember, Vengestone is one of the few elements in Ninjago that prevents an elemental master from using his powers. So my belief is, since Occurrence and Crux don't have their powers anymore, they want the other elemental masters to be like them. They're like, whoa, elemental masters, they're going to take over the world. They're oppressing people like us who don't have powers. So I believe they want to use the Vengestone to somehow permanently erase the powers of the elemental masters. And that's why I believe they will be the main villains of Season 14. They want to take away the powers of the elemental masters out of jealousy, and it would make sense according to the time string. And since Nia and Kai, and since they're the only villains of the ninja who haven't officially been beaten, I do see them as the villains of Season 14. Again, if you have not watched the show, or if you have not watched Season 7 or 13, or even 8, you will be confused. I am sorry, guys. I know I should give you more context, but then again, you only clicked on this video because you're a Ninjago fan, so there's that. Anyways, guys, those are my Season 14 predictions, my 10th anniversary predictions, and my 2 Ninjago theories that I feel I just needed to express to you guys. Anyways, guys, so thank you so very much for watching. I've been Captain Phoenix, and I hope I will see you in another universe.